What is up, fellow Nightfarers? Before we get into some Night Lord action, I wanted to show you a kind of a fun interaction you can have with enemies like the Falling Star Beast or the Guardian. You see in a moment here when it begins doing its charge attack, I'm going to Steel Guard, and I'm going to catch it right between it, right in its big fat eye, and you're going to see something fun. A free stance break. So if you play Guardian, and you get your Falling Star Beast, and I think the Ulcerated Tree Spirits, you can do something similar with them when they charge their head in. But it works pretty much every time, and it's pretty fun to watch. And we're going to show a little Libra here. It's a big chaotic mess of a boss fight, but I think he's a pretty good boss to kind of watch and see. Because it's chaotic, it's crazy, but there's a lot of fun stuff you can do here with Guardian. You will notice that I don't dodge to avoid attacks. I always sprint out of the way, because, I mean, if you play Guardian, you know his dodge is pitiful. So they had to give him some kind of drawback, because the Steel Guard is pretty overpowered when it's used right. I guess if you've never really fought Libra yet or been having trouble with him, when he does his bubble, you want to destroy as many of those sigils as you can, and then attack the bubble to break it. He's in this form, of course, he goes crazy with the melee attacks. He gets a bit of a damage buff, but you also can deal extra damage to him. Unlike if you don't break the bubble, where he gets a massive defensive buff. He does all kinds of crazy tripled up AoE attacks. He just becomes a lot more annoying that way. So you always want to destroy his bubble if you can. Which, if you have a like Wilder and Iron Eye on your team, those guys are pretty nice, because their ultimates can break his bubble, regardless of destroying sigils or anything else. But you always want to, if you think an attack's coming in, you always want to get your Steel Guard up, block as much damage as you can, and get that nice reflective damage back on them if you have those relics equipped. And although it looks like this fight's going really fast and it'll end anytime soon, this is where it begins to take a long time, when it gets to the point where he's got enough sigils up that you can't destroy his bubble every time. I mean, this is the part of the fight where if you haven't, just quite frankly, if you haven't fought him enough times to know what he's gonna do, you'll feel like you're just getting comboed to death, and you'll just like you can't do anything. But he is a interesting boss in that way, where he either, how do I put it? He either feels absolutely terrible to fight, or you fought him enough times that you know his moveset and he actually feels quite, I don't know if fun. Well, he is fun, but I don't know if fun's the word I'm looking for. He becomes very manageable to fight, I guess. You can always predict his moves and know exactly what he's going to do before he even does it. He does have some very good tells. Oh, this move he does here, I know it got probably the first 3 times I fought him before I figured out what to do on it. I died every time. So when he does that and he starts building madness up all over the arena, you want to go pick up the little shards on the ground. And they show up all throughout the boss fight after he does moves and you deal damage to him. And when you pick them up, they reduce your madness buildup. So it's always good to run around and pick those up when you can, but when he does that big madness AoE move, you especially have to grab them or you will die. And of course, always sprint out of the circles. I mean, unless you're using Duchess and maybe Recluse's dodge. You might be able to just do a single dodge out of them, but you do pretty much have to sprint out regardless of who you play, but that's doubly so on Guardian. It's like you get a little bunny hops otherwise. Of course, Steel Guard the melee attacks. Steel Guard's great because it not only reduces how much stamina it takes to guard, but it also vastly reduces the amount of damage that comes through, like even the elemental damage types. So, you know, if you're gonna end up eating a hit anyway, you might as well have your defense up and take as little as possible. Maybe you're new to Guardian or just haven't really figured out how to make a Steel Guard work right. If you want it to actually work, of course, while you're holding your block up, and it only works with the shield, not when two-handing a weapon, you're gonna hold your block, and then you're gonna dodge in any direction. And then you're going to keep holding the block after the dodge. And that puts you in your Steel Guard, which it'll slowly drain stamina while you maintain it, but you'll take drastically reduced stamina damage from enemy hits, and you'll take drastically reduced damage as well. It becomes very important to do, like if you, like for example right there, since knew I was going to have to eat some hits, if you hold it up, you take a lot less damage, a lot less madness build up. And something you will just have to get used to if you want to play Guardian very much is you are going to take damage. But you can mitigate that quite a bit if you take relics that give you HP regeneration, guarding, and also the passives that'll show up after beating some bosses that'll increase that. And right here I'm using Guardian's ult, which if you don't know, I think most people know that it will auto-revive teammates, but if you hold it, if you hold it, you know, that area of aura that it makes, everybody in it is invincible, although you're still susceptible to grab attacks, but you won't take any damage from like standard attacks, say all of Libra's fun spells that he does. And if you have a team that knows what that ult does, you can pop it, revive some people, and then get lots of free damage in without having to worry. And of course, if you're using a relic that gives health regen, that's really nice too. But it's pretty much it. He's quite fun. Just try him out.